Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. All right, Chris. Taco. Um, it's Wednesday, fight week. What does a Wednesday during fight week look like for you?
Today, man, we just really went out. I woke up, went for my miles, got my miles done, came back, chilled out for a little while, just took care of some media obligations, and then from there, just hung out with my coach, man. We just went to the UFC PI, got a little therapy done, hung out, talk shit, hit pads, things like that.
Yeah, man. I was just watching the post fight press conference that you had after your debut. It was one of the more memorable ones, man, because you had like laughter and you had some emotion. And how was it going through that, man? Because the fight was on short notice as well.
Man, the emotions, man. It's if I can tell anybody anything, man, if I can just let you know, the only thing that can come to mind is like when you sleep and you're in one of those crazy dreams, bro. But then you wake up. This was like I didn't wake up. I was there and I was there the whole time. And went from beginning of it and I went to the end, you know? And then for me, I was just blessed to be in the cage. Like, I know everyone wants to win their debut, and clearly, I want to win my all my fights. But I consider it just a gift of God just to be in that cage, just to be touching that, just to be hearing my name called out. So I just took it with the utmost like respect, you know. So yeah, I'll never disrespect
Mhm.
this craft, man. So yeah, I loved it every moment.
Yeah, you can't disrespect the game, man. That's what everybody says. You cannot disrespect the game. Um, now, you mentioned that you wanted to be on the card for the spear, right? And I felt like that would be, after that debut performance, that's something that they should have put you on, but it didn't happen. Did they ever even discuss like even make it matching you up with Benitez though?
I think he just didn't want to take the fight, which
Mhm.
I don't claim anyone's afraid of me because we're all fighters. He's fought really tough guys. I fought really tough guys, so I would never say anything like that. But just maybe it just wasn't in the books. Maybe no one mentioned it. I know
Mhm.
I put it out there, and in the fight world, things go around. People hear stuff. He fought that night too, so um, I don't know. But for me, I'm gonna make the best of this show. And the sphere would have been a obviously a great opportunity. But guess what? If I go out there Saturday and I really handle business like I'm supposed to, people don't care if it's the sphere or they don't care if it's the apex.
Let's talk about the opponent, man. Coming up September 7th, Rongzhu. He's a guy that's getting his second chance, but super young as well. Still, what do you think of him and the skill set?
I think he has a lot of good skills, man. His striking's good. His grappling is good, but I'm a great fighter. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Good isn't enough for me, and I'm obsessed with the game, every moment of the game, every ounce of the game, and I don't think he cares for the game as much as I do. I don't know why people fight. I don't know why he fights, which doesn't really matter to me at the end of the day. But I know why I fight. I want to be that guy. I want all the numbers. I want everything. I don't. There's nothing in the game that I don't want. But more like that. That's my obsession with all this. So I don't know if he has the obsession I do. Like I know people say be obsessed, but being obsessed, it takes way more than you think. It takes time from everything. Every person you love, everything you like to do is you can't like those things no more because if you're obsessed, it means you're always watching fights, you're always studying, you're always playing back, you got to slow it down, and then you got to go watch it 3 times. Then you got to go talk to somebody, read about it, find other fighters that fight like that. Like there's so much research. Sorry, the car light done went out, but yeah, I uh, I don't think he got it like that. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm
All
in
right.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's, there we go. Sorry.
All right. All good, all good. Yeah, man. The coaches, man, because now you get a full camp, you get all the perks of the UFC and all that, for a full camp as well. Who are the coaches that have molded you in the past few years to give you or to allow this opportunity in many ways?
I would say, man, if there's a whole list of them, man. Like literally, Like I
Mhm.
go, so like my first coach, my coach Mark, Ian, uh Coach D, Steens, Chris Culley, uh uh fucking Dave Waters, Chad George, fucking Victor Henry, Dom Clark. Like they're like that's the thing. Like for me, I believe like I have a coach that this is the man that's going to be there talking, but I take coaching from anybody and everybody. Like if I find something you're good at and you can teach me any realm, you can have horrible striking, horrible wrestling, but if you know how to control somebody from the back really well, I want to learn from you. I need to know what you do to hold this back position the best. Like I realize in fighting, there's just so many fine details, so many different positions that again, I can have horrible striking and wrestling, but if I know how to hold your back, I can win 15 plus fights just with that, you know? So that's where I would say my coach. I would
Who
just say I would just like to think my team's more important, CMMA, Fight Science,
mhm.
Jumbee Kickboxing. Yeah, just my teams really, because like I said, it's just so many people that help me out with this game.
For sure. And who's gonna be in the corner though?
In the corner is going to be Chris Cully, Chad George, and Jamal Emmers. Yeah, those
And
two of
Chad
them coaches.
George,
One's my training
OG.
partner. Yeah, yeah, man. That guy's been
Yeah.
around a long time,
Yeah.
man.
What are you expecting out of yourself in this one, though? You know, what I mean, you put set the bar high with that first performance.
Well, that to be honest, man, I'm not even gonna lie. That's that was textbook for me. That wasn't for me. That wasn't like it. What impressed me was more just my ability to stay calm in such a what people would call high like a very high tense situation. Because again, I'm in the cage where the best of the world fight at. So that was for me the most important part, being composed. So I expect myself to be just as composed, whether it's one round like last time or whether it's 3 rounds. Like it does for me. It doesn't matter because I love the game, man. I love it. So it, unfortunately, winning that first one, and this is I'm sure any fighter can speak on this. When you win a fight in 1 round, imagine training all these months to get 1 round of a fight, and then it's like now you're on chill mode. You just got to train, get better, and it's cool because my body, but my brain is hungry for more. Like the ego side of me wants more. Like man, I wish I could have elbowed him more. I wish I could have kneed him more. I wish I could have slammed him more. I wish I could have just, you know, just show more skill. So uh I'm ready for whatever, man. Whatever the Rongzhu has to bring me, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's a double edged sword, right? Like you want to be able to get that cage time, but then at the same time, it's risky too. You know what I mean? Because anything could happen in a fight.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the that's where I'm like I what I guess the way I balance that, because again, my coach was just telling me this too. Like sometimes I enjoy eating my food, like playing with my food too much, that
Hmm.
it can be detrimental to you. Especially when you fight guys who are good comeback type of guys who you can smash them in that first 3 minutes, and then after that they're like, okay, I think I got this time. And at this point in the game, that's where a lot of people are at. So the way I like to describe my style is I just set traps, man. Imagine just you're walking through a dark forest and there's traps all over, and at any moment it can be a bear trap, it can be a fucking hole in the ground, or it can just be me waiting there with the sword. So I that's how I do. If you fall into a trap like Yontop did, then you're gonna get killed quick. If you're smart and you take your time, then I gotta get you later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to rewind a little bit, man. You debuted as a professional in 2014, but like, let's say you debuted as a professional in 2019, you probably would have been in the UFC with that winning streak. Like right now, the game is different, right? Completely different.
Yeah, I would say the game now it's I don't want to say it's a little bit more safer, but in a way it is, because uh, when getting on in the UFC early on was a lot of that was chance, mostly a lot of chance, like short notice or Ultimate Fighter, and then that was like a fucking shark infested water just to get into the Ultimate Fighter, and then when you're in there, still no guarantee, you know. So, like now is like, you know, if you're 8-0 and you got a manager who ain't that sketchy and who got connections, you're literally, you don't have to fight for the next 2 months. Work your regular job, keep training, and then you're gonna get a Contender Series shot, you know. But how I like to compare now and then is then, yes, it was a lot more shark infested and it was tougher and a little bit more, like I said, no, there's no guarantee. But in my opinion, you learn to take L's and you learn to get better. You know what I mean? Like you knew, okay, if I lose, I can bounce back, get better. Like it was easier to get better without getting to UFC. You know, like you don't want to lose outside the UFC, but when you lose in the UFC and that's your first loss, and you don't know how to correct yourself because you're only 8-0, you're only 7-0, and you can't swim with the Sharks, man. That's how a lot of guys get booted out early, and then they have to go on their journeyman, their arc after they get into you or post UFC, you
Yeah.
know. And once you're post UFC, everyone's looking at you. Everyone, all the guys coming up, watching like, oh, you just got dropped, and if I beat him, that means I'm already going. So
Mhm.
like, imagine, bro, just everyone's watching you, you know. So for me, it was just like I went on a good streak, took an L, uh, and I had to learn to swim, man. And that was a fucking a lot of character building, I like to call it, you know. And here I am, but that's why I can talk to you this way. This
Mhm.
is why I'm sure of my skills because I've fought guys that I couldn't put away. I fought heavy hand. I fought grapplers. I fought everything. I've won. I lost, and I've got a chance to make adjustments. That's why when I'm in the UFC, it's like, in my opinion, there's two sides of the UFC. One side is guys who don't really train like that but believe in themselves. You know, who
Mhm.
just have a lot of self belief, and self belief get you. If you think you can knock everyone out, you probably can until you run into a guy who says, "Oh, that's all you do? I'm gonna choke you."
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know. So there's that guy, the guys who just believe but barely train, and then it's the people who do both. The people who
Mhm.
believe and train like they believe in themselves. Those are the world champions. Those are the top fives. You know what I mean? Those guys right there. So right now, I feel like I'm on the other side where the guys, a lot of them are just self belief, but a lot of it ain't like skill or a lot of training. You know. So, yep.
Yeah, man. Just by talking to you, this is the first time I've been talking to you, and you seems like the bright lights aren't that bright because of what you went through. I mean, you took the L's, you came back. Some guys like they get on those streaks, they take a couple L's, they just never could get that spark again. You found the spark four in a row. How did you find that though? Like, that's something that interests me a lot.
Personally, man, you said you watched the interview, so like I said, I've personally said I was done MMA like a lot of times, man, because there's like a sickness that you get in your belly when you know you've given. Again, I've even when I wasn't in the UFC, I've always given my utmost obsession to this fighting. So
Mhm.
when you get robbed of a decision, it's the most sickening feeling, man. Then in the regionals, you get paid whatever money, so it's like half a check is like, damn, bro. I put in weeks and weeks and gas
Mhm.
money, food. I've been paying for all these things. I still got regular nigga bills and shit like that, bro. Like
Mhm.
how am I gonna pay this with this? Now I got to go back to work, lumped up, foot swollen, this broken, that twisted. Like, bro, I'm fucked up right now, and I
Mhm.
gotta just go and basically I gotta reset up the mountain because you said I lost a decision that I know I won. My opponent said I won. Crowd said I won. Everybody said I won. But you said I lost all 3 rounds, and I look at the fight and I go, what? Like that, bro, that's sickening, man. That's one of the most
Mhm.
sickening things in my. And then it's like you don't even know nothing about fighting. Like a lot of these judges, bro, they judge off emotion. Like if they're scared to get punched and they see you get punched, they're like, well, he lost the round. You're like, bro, come on, man. So after going through that, man, I met my coach, Chris Culley or Jumbee. He Man, that guy gave me a spark, man. Cause funny enough, he was in my opponent's corner. My last loss, he was in his corner, and he even said, like, he talked after my opponent said, oh yeah, I lost the fight, and my coach was like, yeah, he felt sick that he saw me get robbed. He saw me get kicked down the mountain again, man.
Mhm.
So we somehow end up meeting at a point sparring, and we chopped it up, man. And from there, we ain't turned back. He told me to show
Mhm.
up to the gym that Monday, and I showed up, and
Mhm.
I regret nothing, man. So here we are, man. A few days from war.
Yeah, living the dream, man. September 7th, UFC Fight Night in the Apex. Taco, thank you so much, man, for taking the time. All the best in the fight coming up. And yeah, man, hopefully you get on the next Spear card when they have that.
Hey man, just know, hey, second fight, I'm opening the main card, man. So that kind of already shows I'm on this shit, man. So just keep a lookout for me. Thanks, John, man. Thanks for having me. You already know I know it's a lot of back and forth and all this to get
It's
to
all
these
good.
moments, but hey, man, thank you for having me. After I commit this murder, hit me up again, man. We can sit down, chop it up.